Mr. Speaker, in opposition.
Opposition, please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, along with some of the religious issues in regards to this and how it's going to affect religious institutions in the state of Hawaii, there's also a couple other reasons why I'm opposed to the measure, Mr. Speaker. When they were going to close down Ka'ava Elementary in my community, Mr. Speaker, which is one of the best performing elementary schools in the state, the reason that they gave was that there were inadequate facilities for the school because we had portable classrooms. And that was one of the standards and reasons given that. We're going to shut down one of the best performing elementary schools in the state because you have inadequate facilities. Because what the Department of Education gave my community and my kids were portable classrooms. And that was deemed as substandard facilities for the kids. And criteria was like 2/3 of the classrooms were substandard. And that's, there's another reason, Mr. Speaker. And because we have these issues with our facilities, which we just addressed not too long ago, with the aging and inadequate facilities we're given our kids to go to school with, it's also reflected with Kahuku High School, Mr. Speaker. Every time we get a good dose of rain, my brothers and sisters get excited because they know they don't have to go to school, because we haven't solved the flooding problem for the kids in my community. So they either have to not go to school, or if they do go to school, they go to a school that is still has inches of water on campus that sits there for days that's bacteria infested. Now this is of great concern to me, Mr. Speakers, because if we're not taking care of what we already do have, how can we trust ourselves with even greater responsibility? And that was the same thing that I had growing up as a farmer. If I had a dog or if I had a pet and I wasn't taking good care of that animal, my father wouldn't give me any further responsibilities. And given the fact that some of the schools in my community are going to be adversely affected by the lack of funding that we have and the commitment of funds that we're going to give to this new program, and we're going to lay that in solid stone when we make this constitutional amendment, Mr. Speaker, is the flooding problem going to get solved at Kahuku High School? Are my kids going to be able to go to school when it rains? Are they going to continue to pressure to shut down Ka'ava Elementary because it has substandard facilities? So until these questions are answered, Mr. Speaker, I would like to see what limited resources we do have committed to first taking care of the responsibilities that we currently bear and shoulder at this time before we expand the responsibilities to other areas, Mr. Speaker. And as a person who received my education often in classrooms that were thatched out of coconut leaves, Mr. Speaker, I understand the value of education. I understand how important it is to give the right facilities to those who really need it. So for those reasons, Mr. Speaker, at this time I must be opposed to the measure and would like to see a pilot program before we commit ourselves full force to this. Thank you, Mr.